I'm Sudeepthi Dondapati, Associate Professor in the Department of English from the Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. Today, I'm here to discuss the significance, the importance or the essential need of writing a cover letter. Do you know about cover letter? What do you mean by cover letter? Or are you so confused with comprehending the concept of a cover letter or resume or curriculum vitae? Let me explain the significance along with its meaning. Now, before I dwell on the concept of a cover letter, I would like to take you through the outline of my presentation. So the outline would be like this: understanding the meaning of the word cover letter and the necessity of writing a cover letter, the need and necessity. Then the structure of a cover letter. And then in addition to that, I'll be talking about tips for writing a cover letter. So what are some strategies you can really apply while you're writing a cover letter? And then what are the rules to follow? Some do's and don'ts so that you can write your cover letter perfectly when you apply for any job. Do you know that writing a cover letter or a good cover letter is like writing a good autobiography. What's an autobiography? An autobiography is something that you write or reveal about yourself. So the beholder will be understanding or comprehending the essence of your matter or about your life through the lens of your writing. That's an autobiography. In the same way, you need to understand that writing a cover letter is equally important. It's like the beholder or the hiring manager in your companies will be able to understand your potential or credentials or what qualifies you to be a perfect person in that position that you're applying for. So writing a cover letter is very essential. So when you apply for a job, what do? You prepare your resume or CV, that is popularly known as curriculum vitae, or else. And then, in addition to a resume and CV or a resume, and then you will be also writing a cover letter. So do not get confused with a resume or and a cover letter. A cover letter is a short document that is used to elaborate on your intent for applying to the job, particular skills, experience, and achievements that make you the right fit. To understand in simpler terms, I would say that a resume is nothing but you talk about a list of educational qualifications. On the other hand, this cover letter is nothing but you give an overview of your educational qualifications or credentials and why do you really fit for the position you're applying for. So while the former, that is resume, will give a list of your qualifications or your credential. So what is your educational qualification and what are your papers that you have published or what are your extra reverts and so on and so forth. In the same way, on the other hand, in your cover letter, you will be talking about an overview. You'll be giving a very interesting picture of your credential and potential in the form of a kind of like a letter having three essential parts. Like you will talk about introduction and then body and then conclusion. So in order to understand it in simpler terms, just remember one word. It is an overview of your credentials and what will make you the right person to apply for that particular position. So when your hiring manager reads your cover letter, you'll be able to understand the intention. So it's like while reading this cover letter, you'll be able to understand whether you're the suitable person or not. You will not be giving a very elaborate description of all your credentials, but you will be talking about all your credentials in a very effective way. Yes, you'll be talking about all the details, but you'll be talking in an effective way. That's the point you need to take care of. And then, why do you have to write a cover letter? In order to paint a picture about your performance that you're going to do, or when you are taken into that particular job. So why do you have to do that? So why is that you're applying for? And if you apply for that, then what will really qualify you to be the right person in the job? So everything in a nutshell you'll be delivering in your cover letter. So you'll be talking about your abilities, but here you're not going to talk about your list of abilities that I have so and so reward, that I have so and so. You will not be giving a list, but very briefly, and also you'll be mentioning to the point. You'll be mentioning your achievement and with regard to the position you apply for. For example, I have been a very great data analyst. And so you'll be talking about, I have done so and so project in connection with this. And so I have enough experience, or 7 years of experience, or 10 years of experience, or 3 years of experience. So I'll be able to bring out the potential in a sufficient way, or I'll be able to sharpen my skills so that I can cater to the requirements of the company that I'm going to work for. So like this, you'll be arresting the attention of the reader, that is your HR or hiring manager, in your cover letter when you write a cover letter, right? So how to write a cover letter? Now you need to understand, you have understood why do you write a cover letter. Now let me make you understand, how do you have to arrange, or how do you have to write your cover letter? A cover letter consists of an introduction, like I mentioned previously, body and conclusion. There's a structure, definite structure to this cover letter. So very briefly, like a story. Okay, so very interesting story you can really produce when you write a covering letter. So having this introduction, body and conclusion. And then in the very beginning of the paragraph, you'll be greeting them. Who is that? That is a specific person you're addressing to. Could be your HR, could be but then try to write it in a very neat, concise manner. It's like, dear Mr. So and so. You have to give his surname, his or her surname. So do not say that an unknown person. Please do not mention that. It belongs to, or I'm writing to some X or Y. Please do not be very ambiguous when you write it. So be very specific. So the beginning of the cover letter, you'll be greeting them, and the opening lines will be, is like, you could simply start with stating the position you're applying for. You need to be very clear with what you're applying for. Without not having any clarity, you cannot understand, you cannot do, or you cannot venture into applying for that particular job. So you need to state the position, your job, or what is the type of job you're applying for. And then you will have to read and understand or grasp the concept of your company, so that you'll be able to cater to the requirements. And also in your cover letter, you'll be able to talk about the needs and requirements of the company you're applying for. So you have to know, sometimes what happens is, like, many students do not understand or do not remember the company's name that they're applying for. So that's a mistake that they do it. So you need to avoid it. And then, dear hiring manager or head of the department. For example, like in other non-technical departments, you can use this head of the department, whereas in your technical companies, you can really address it as the dear respected, or dear Mr. So-and-so. Okay. And you can also use very catchy and interesting phrases like, I'm excited, I'm delighted to apply for the position of. Okay, so the way you choose your vocabulary should be very careful. So I'm very interested in doing it. So I'm very committed to do my job. So the words you choose should be very attractive and also very impressive. And an example here is like, with a bachelor's degree in computer, for example, in computer science, and a 4-month internship experience in what? The place, and then at your what is the company, or what is the like place, where is the place, where is that you have really worked for. So what is the company name and all. So in so and so field and at so and so place, I believe that I would bring valuable or enough potential to the table, means to your to the position that I'm really going to work for. So, and also talk about your interests and accomplishments that have led towards applying for this role. For example, so what are your interests and why is that interest made you apply for that? Okay, so you need to write in an attractive manner. So in order to write a very good covering letter or a cover letter, you need to have very good writing skills. So work hard. And then body will be like this. So the body of your cover letter should have, okay, you need to have a very fair idea of the key requirements. So what is that you're supposed to do in that company if you are selected for that position. Okay, and then think of your main accomplishments, okay, that demonstrate. So what are your successful achievements or accomplishments that demonstrate your position that you're going to apply for. Okay, so it is a great chance for you to show a great this link between your knowledge, experience, abilities, and the needs of the employer. Or it's like a distinction between your abilities and the needs of the employer. So you need to connect in such a way that, sir, I have so and that is why I'll be able to bring out a very great result or very good results in your company. So you need to be very specific. And then you need to provide enough evidence. Do you know that? You need to back it up with your data. Okay, without evidence you cannot fool someone. So you need to provide that evidence, sportive evidence. If you're talking that you have so and so good experience and you have so many credentials for applying that position. Okay, so for example, did you increase the readership of a blog by 50%? So you can mention that in my previous experience that I could increase this much of readership. So by my achievement or like by my work. So you can really show them a proof. And then you can also include any educational achievements or any project that might be relevant to the job. So you can really talk about it's like the projects that you have really achieved for another company or in your internship. So it is always good if you can really name the project that you have worked for. And then, for example, for my final semester project, I built a machine learning model that used supervised learning to detect the temperature in a room. So this is just a small instance or an example for you to understand to write a good covering letter or cover letter. And then use this chance so that how you can show them how you plan to use your skills in your company. That's all. Okay, and you will have to research a lot about the company you're applying for so that you can write everything in an orderly, in a very very concise in a concise manner. So that is very important. And like for example, you can also say that as a web designer with your company, I would use these skills, which skills that you have already mentioned previously, that you have got these skills to create website designs that incorporate your brand elements and is optimized for all devices. So, in conclusion, what do you write? You can thank them. Always remember, do not say yours lovingly. Always use yours sincerely or faithfully. Always sound in a formal way. That is very important. You're not writing this cover letter to your friend, okay, to your beloved one, but you're writing to an official. So you will have to talk about your you will have to talk about your potentials or credentials in a very formally tone. So you can end your cover letter saying that, sir, I would really request you to give me an appointment, like in the form of an interview or a meeting, so that I can come and present myself there. So you can end your conclusion asking this particular request, and then you can thank them for the time they have given to go through your cover letter. And then you can also end use this your sincerely, and then you can give your name So, what are the tips for writing a cover letter? You can begin and end the letter appropriately. Be very careful when you do that. So, you can begin saying that, Dear Mr. plus surname. So, you have to use that. And then give a clear reason for writing. So, what is the intention that you have for writing, applying for this job? So, give a clear reason. So, because of this reason, I feel that I can apply for this job. Okay, and the expressions you can use, I'm writing with regard to, or you can also you say like to express my interest in this particular area, like that. And also in addition to that, talking about the language part, I would like to say that using linking words to join similar ideas into paragraphs. So why do I talk about linking words here? I'm talking about these linking words. Like, what are the linking words? First of all, linking words are nothing but however, also, but also, as well as a result. So you can use all these linking words when you join your paragraphs, when you write your paragraphs. For example, if you start your paragraph saying that you are highly qualified, and you can say because of this, you can use this linking word in your cover letter. That's what I mean by using linking words. And then include a summary comment near the end of your letter with like I would be grateful, sir, if you can really select me for that. Or if you, I'll be grateful, sir, if you can really call me for this position. So you can use all those things. And then close your letter with a set phrase. So what is that set phrase? I look forward to hearing from you. So what? So these are some tips or strategies that you can really use for writing a cover letter. And also the last section I would like to talk about is, it is like giving your contact details. It is very important. Remember, you need to give your phone number, your name, your address. And then while you end your cover letter, tell the hiring manager what you want them to do. It's like you're asking or you're requesting them for arranging a meeting or an interview, so that you can talk about your performance, or like it's like a kind of like a interview, a meeting, so that you can really display your great credential or display your talent, so that they will select you for that position. And then conciseness is very important. What do you mean by conciseness? Is like, do not give unnecessary beating around the bush sentences. Like, you don't have to talk about everything in a very lengthy way, but be precise, or what I mean to the point. To the point you talk about your credentials and make it very concise structure. Okay. And then avoid cliched phrases. Cliched phrases is nothing but like using extremely jargon type of words, like talking about idioms or using different figures of speech, unnecessary literary devices, which the hiring manager you're really applying for, or you want them to read your covering letter, just to make them get confused with your letter. So in order to blur their like comprehension, you can use this. But if you're not going to blur their concentration or their focus, you have to write a cover letter without using these cliched phrases. So always write in a simpler language, but a very good vocabulary, and then very good word, what is necessary for that context. So avoid jargons or cliched phrases. That means very complicated or literary kind of devices, or necessary words that the other person will not be able to comprehend what you're saying. Okay. So, but always use attractive vocabulary. So, and also overly formal tone. It's like, I'll be indebted. It's not necessary. Okay. I'll be grateful is very good. So avoid overly formal tone, but formal tone is necessary. And then improper formatting is another mistake that students do. Please try to arrange your structure of your cover letter in a proper format. like spaces or the font you're using. Please do not use very decorative fonts. Okay, for the reader or the hiring manager who is going to read your cover letter. So you have to be very careful. Use very official, like Times New Roman is one good, Calibri or Arial. You can use all such good fonts. And then most importantly, avoid common grammatical errors. So if you have so many grammatical mistakes or errors in your cover letter, then the reader or your hiring manager would really get upset with you and feel that you will not be able to communicate to the participants in the company in future. So always write a grammatically it's like a grammatically excellent cover letter, like where you write your cover letter with good grammar, without any confusion or without any confusing words or mistakes in your cover letter. So I hope you understood the sense and the concept of writing a cover letter or a cover letter when you apply for any job in any company. Thank you.
Like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.